Please be seated. Good morning. Welcome all. My name is Panos Markopoulos. I'm the Vice Dean of the Department of Industrial Design. I would like to welcome you to this graduation ceremony, Master's Graduation Ceremonies for 2021, at least part one for today. So, welcome to you guys for graduating, family, friends, grandparents, if anybody's here, you're all welcome. This is a great day for us to celebrate, for you especially, but for us as well. You can all be very proud of yourselves because you worked very hard to get to this point. Each as a designer giving shape to a personal identity as design engineers and having your own vision of how you as designers can contribute to society. As a cohort of students, you went through quite a lot to get to this point today. Not only the deadlines, and maybe burning the midnight oil before a demo day, struggling hard to find clients, contacts, participants, user testing, all this stuff. Us as well, finding us and talking to us. So you had quite a lot to do and to carry out your work, your design work, in a societal context, as we ask, in the middle of a corona crisis. That was quite hard. You had to go through the isolation of corona, having to follow lectures remotely, having to see us learn how to do our job remotely. That was also a learning experience. So we are very proud of you being here today and to be able to deliver you as accomplished designers who can contribute to society with the unique expertise that typifies our department's approach to industrial design. Society faces several big challenges. We see it with COVID, with climate change. We see it in education and public health. And most often people look at technology as a way to address these problems. But technology should not only be faster, stronger, it has to be the right technology. And we need people who are able to understand the complexity of the challenges and to have the sensitivity to propose the right solutions for the challenge at hand. So you are these people, and you have trained hard to get here. So today we celebrate this milestone in your careers, your achievements, your great designs, and we can look back at the moments of your trajectory, professionally, but also as persons, growing, making friends in difficult times as well. So, thank you for all your efforts, and thanks especially to parents and friends for all the support they have provided you to get here today, to reach this point. It is quite a big effort, and there's always more people than the student who work for it. We shall now start the main part of this ceremony, where us as coaches will address each of you and hand over the diploma very briefly for each of you. Apparently there should be a cross somewhere. There's the cross, a black cross. You can look for it. So when I call the name, you have to stand by the cross, and then the coach every time will be delivering a small speech and handing over the diplomas, which everybody has in front of them. So I will start first. We don't start immediately with the drill because the first person is very remote. So I will start with Sijie Zhu, whom I coached. And I hope, Sijie, you can see us from far away. So I hope Sijie is there in China now, and I will read out her speech, let's say. I'm very glad to be able to address you and to celebrate your achievement at our university. I got to know you in your research semester, where you already expressed very clearly your interest in designing playful education for children. Now, this is a topic very close to my heart and the subject of European research projects that I'm working on. So I was very interested to work with you, even though at the time you were at the health unit, health squad, and we were really pushing a bit against the grain. The squad people are very nice and let us do it. So this demonstrates how you are a free spirit, and others might say a bit stubborn, determined to push through with your plan, whatever. And it's a great asset to have, because it helped you achieve excellence in the research semester. Your work has now been published in the Entertainment Computing Conference. But it helped you also when During Corona, you couldn't find anyone, thanks to us. We couldn't find schools to work with, but you did that very well. Your final project, which we see the object here today, was one that fitted again your interest and your passion. You designed a toy and an accompanying website where children 7 to 10 are supported to create, store, and replay and share stories with other children. You did this at a time of lockdown when it was hard to visit school and interact with children. And on the way, you have become an expert in designing interaction with children. So I'm sure this has prepared you well for the work you're envisioning to do, but also determined to do, as I see. So I have been very happy to work with you and very appreciative of your diligence and commitment to your goal. So I believe you will do lots of good things in your future. So congratulations with your diploma. So I was trying to talk to the camera, so I hope Sijie has seen me. So now I will invite the next person, is my colleague Mathias Funk. And the first person Mathias will talk to is Sijie Zhu. I hope I said it correctly, but Mathias will correct me, I'm sure.
In real life, it's amazing, right? Okay. Dear Sijie Zhu, dear Sjo, congratulations to your master degree. I will not read my speech because René wrote a better one, and that's the one I'm going to read. So this is René speaking. It's been an absolute honor for me to coach you, and also for me, but René. You are the first master student that I have coached, and you have definitely set the bar high for those who will come after you, or who will follow you. From the very beginning, you showed a very strong interest in topics that I was also passionate about, and you approached them in such a sensitive and new way that our meetings were always inspiring. I especially loved how you approached data from such a soft and humane perspective. I think this will be a great inspiration for the age of data that we are currently discovering all around us. Much of your masters took place during the pandemic, with most of our coaching happening online and even in different continents and time zones. However, you did not let the pandemic get you down. You went on to arrange an internship abroad at Miele in Germany, and you went on to truly impress the people there while making Mathias and I very, very jealous of the luxury kitchen with all the newest equipment that you could use every single day. What has always amazed me about your work is how incredibly hard you work and how you manage to squeeze so many design activities into one semester. We've really seen you grow and gain confidence, not only as a designer, but most importantly, as a person. You were never scared to speak up about the cultural differences you were experiencing, and as a result, you were not only the only one learning, but I learned a lot from you too. It has been incredibly inspiring to see how you have created a place for yourself in the design community. Unfortunately, I could not be here today to congratulate you, your family, and your friends in person. They can also be very proud of you, and so am I. I'm already looking forward to seeing what the projects that you will work on next. You're always welcome on the 5th floor to have a chat. I wish you all the best for the future, and I hope to see you soon again. René and Mathias. Face the camera. Shake hands.
Als je de hap vindt, sorry. You can use your hands. Yeah. Weer around the flower.
Yeah, maybe the flowers are better. You want to take the flowers?
No, these are yours. Okay.
Thank you.
The next one is Daan Noordman. Also great to see you again in person. It has been a while. Dear Daan, congratulations. I'm happy to see you again. We first met when you were doing your first master project in the Dixon Squad, and from then you shaped your journey throughout our master programs, all the way to the final project. Again, COVID is a bit the theme for your final master project. You worked on the topic of air quality, designing integrated systems of air cleaning products and in the office and in the home. In both semesters of your project, you worked with industrial clients who were really enthusiastic about your work and your skills, and often much more than yourself. You surprised me in how you made major breakthroughs in your design process. Projects feel effortless, and you're one of the few ID students who would simply show up with physical prototypes that looked really finished and done just like that. Just like that. That was really fantastic. So Daan, I enjoyed working with you and your quiet smartness about intelligent solutions in the home context. I wish you all the best for the future. The next one is Salman. Hi. Hi, Salman. Congrats, and it's great to see you here again. Your second master year was dedicated to the topics of personal finance and educating young adults about money. Why is this so important? Because money is actually hard. First of all, not so much is available. More seriously, good trustable information on investing money for a faraway future retirement or bad times is often not available or not clear. So you did extensive research on the topic and decided to design interventions to help young adults figure money out in a playful way. At the same time, you used the opportunity to combine this design challenge with your interest in data science and machine learning. And you did all this in a highly structured way. So our coach meetings were basically aligned with sprints. If there's no sprint, there's no coach meeting. And this way of working allowed you to achieve really a lot in the given time and pandemic pressure. Now that the COVID times are slowly changing and you got your master's degree secured, I wish you all the best for a bright future.
Thank you. Okay, so, Now I would like to call Elsa Bolder. Take your place. And I will not be delivering the speech, but Karine has some words. We will hear her from the video. So.
My dear Elsa, I wish I could be here today to congratulate you in person for this great milestone. It has been such a pleasure to be your mentor and to see your evolution during those 2 years. If one can remember something from you, it is the perseverance to learn and to reach your goals, even when working on a complex topic. At the start of your journey, you fell, yet you stood up way stronger and you impressed us all by your resilience. That was the new Elsa, ready to get things done and ready to 3D print a lot of things. Your graduation project focused on measuring patients' emotion before an MRI examination, which was a brief from Philips Design. It required to understand complex psychological theories, to work with data, and a good amount of sensors. You also learned how to set up lab experiments to a very good level, and with a constant attention to ethics. For instance, how to worry, but not to worry, your fake patients. Only Corona prevented you from conducting the test at the hospital, but yet you found creative alternatives. And how funny is that to see Bureau Mullikedingen ending up with an MRI setup in their basement. You also had the patient to explain over and over again what exactly you meant by measuring emotions through manipulation. Luckily, we were saved by the famous alarm clock by Stefan van Sven, who everybody around had heard of. And you might even have borrowed some part of it here and there. Overall, Else, you have a drive for addressing topics that matter, for designs with an impact, away from the beautiful for the sake of the beautiful. During your career, I am convinced that you will use your strengths to make things that matter. There is still a great interest in publishing on this topic with you, so you will for sure hear from Pepijn and I again. We were grateful to accompany you and to learn from you along your journey, and we wish you all the best for the years to come.
Thank you.
And I would like to call Jody Boulder to come. Jody Oplat, sorry. I think we'll play Karine again.
Dear Jordi, although I'm not present today, unfortunately, recording this speech is a great moment to reflect on the past years and specifically on your achievements. We can easily say that you have been a true Vitality family member, doing the project with us and even endorsing the role of squad assistant. A family member also because you are an amazing team player, always ready to help, to teach others and to learn from them. During these years, you really wanted people to go exercise. Loop, course, wiggle 1, wiggle 2, with all these designs, no more excuse not to go. What I appreciated the most was your curiosity and your desire to anchor your designs within specific theories which could bring some more meaning to the topic of exercising motivation. First, you address co-responsibility and then slow technology. Both are rather challenging ones, but you showed a great deal of commitment and perseverance to succeed. In your graduation project Wiggle, you decided to be somewhat a pioneer and to explore the business opportunities behind slow tech. This was a very interesting approach for your client BMD, and I take the opportunity to thank you for your valuable contributions on behalf of Pepijn and the whole BMD team. You also have an attention for details and you made great prototypes. But I think the funnier anecdotes about your project were probably your unintended passion for sound design. We could definitely know when Jordi was in the squad testing his prototypes. All these methods were bringing a new dimension on how to trigger behavior change. I mean, the tech was slow, but it was definitely not silent. Overall, I can only say that I'm very proud of your development. You overcame a lot of doubts and gained so much self-confidence. Keep going that way, acknowledging your strengths and value as a designer. I'm wishing you all the best for the future, and I'm really looking forward to see the great project you will conduct.
I have to do this right, eh? Sjoerd Stamhuis. We watch Karine again.
Good morning, Sjoerd. It is a pity that the graduation happens this week and I can't be there in person to congratulate you and to take a memorable picture together. But I saw you not long ago, last week, presenting your graduation project, The Office Agents, at the Dutch Design Week. And I thought, that's a great conclusion to this excellent project and to your own trajectory as a designer in training. What a change! From your pre-master in Vitality, trying to interview kids on playground using sentence completion, to your transformation in the TP squad. And I mean, we barely recognized you when you came back, but you had this ability to then make the best of both approaches in your way of designing. You are both a great maker and a good thinker. You do question things, and you always want to achieve your best potential. Even on the hardest part, like scientific writing, or just writing in a non-chaotic fashion, you have showed an amazing learning curve. You became excellent at pitching your projects, and you even had your moments of fame during the talk show with the FIT Consortium. You worked hard to live up to the expectations that your assessors had at the end of your M21, remember? We can wonder how much help you have received from your bossy productivity agent to get so motivated for your FMP. And for those who are not aware, I'm talking of his prototype, not his mentor. Although, you might say that there are some similarities. You wanted to achieve an excellent project, and you gave yourself all the chances to succeed. You also discovered academia through some perhaps awkward situations like this entirely remote Kai demo session. I have to say we felt a bit lonely on the Zoom demo, but the role-playing was fun nevertheless. I said it already, but I'm going to say it again. If someday you hit your head and feel crazy enough to work in academia, give me a call and I will gladly supervise you again, but this time for a PhD work. I have learned a lot from you, and so did the entire team. The FIT Consortium clients were very impressed and inspired by your work as well. I'm very proud of what you have achieved so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing where you will land and the impact that you will make. Congratulations again, and take care.
I will take a small break from the speeches and have some impression of the projects on the screen.
Gender disparity permeates nearly all moments of the cardiac care pathway, including life-saving cardiac rehabilitation. To question this status quo, I've been using the feminist design practice of troubling design to explore how an ethical and responsible feminist nutrition intervention could look like for women in cardiac rehabilitation. Through critical reflection on my own prior work in food tracking, I found an uneasiness that by only offering rigid self-tracking technologies to women in cardiac rehabilitation, we're perpetuating systems of oppression where women are expected to be constant projects of improvement through hyper-surveilling and policing their bodies. To rethink how technology can actually acknowledge lived experience and support women in their relationship with nutrition during cardiac rehabilitation, I've designed a platform introducing intuitive eating. Through 10 modules, women are supported in re-meeting their bodies, including rejecting diet mentality, honoring their hunger, coping with emotions with kindness, and honoring health through gentle nutrition. A chatbot function supports women while they learn to tune back into hunger and fullness cues, using the hunger scale to foster trust in the intuitive knowing of the body. Ultimately, by staying with the trouble, I want to spark critical conversation about the ethics and impact that nutrition tracking technologies have on the women that we're designing them for, and how technologies can instead become champions of feminist liberation.
Okay, this is the way to make the ceremony last longer. Just wait for the next video. So I would like to call my colleague, Daniel Tetter, to continue.
So I hope there's not another video popping in right now. Dear Luca, I wrote down my speech because I'm very bad at remembering things. So forgive me for looking at the paper sometimes. As a coach of ID students, I do see and work with many different students. It's almost always a pleasure to work with them, but some students more than others. Some students, they do great things, they can do great things, but they need help at every corner. Not you. Some students produce wonderful outcomes, but they don't understand how to get there. Again, not you. Some students quietly and independently work their way, not asking for help at every corner, but instead using our coaching sessions for reflection and feedback. They do arrive at a great outcome nonetheless, and they understand how they got there. Guess what? That's you. So for your final master project, you did a great project on stimulating children with cerebral palsy and to use their affected hand in activities of daily life. And this is quite a complex challenge because it's a complex phenomenon to deal with. They're a particularly complex user group to work with, and all of this, of course, in the context of Corona, was definitely not easy. Well, you did pretty well, actually. Pretty well. You did very well. The client was very happy with your result. And that's part to the perseverance, the patience, and also the scientific rigor that you applied in your process. You were not easily brought from the, let's say, straight path, even if there were challenges that seemed insurmountable. So these are qualities that define you as a designer. You're analytical, you're an evidence-based designer, but at the same time you're also empathic and sensitive, which is very useful in projects like these. So qualities that are really indispensable, especially when designing in a complex domain such as the one of your FMP, or one could say qualities that actually define a true design professional. So today I'm very happy that I have the opportunity to hand to you your diploma and formally declare you a professional designer. Dear Luca, it's been a pleasure to be your coach, and I'm really happy to congratulate you with your master diploma.
Careful, it's wet. I was trying to keep the flowers. The next graduate and the next coach are both virtual. So I hope we are connected. It's Heusung Ye, hopefully he can see us, and Rong Hao Yang has a video to play with his speech. So let's move to Rong Hao.
Hi, my name is Rong Hao Liang. I'm the mentor of Hui Zhong. Dear Hui Zhong, huge congratulations on your cum laude. You're my first student to receive this honor. I'm very proud of your achievement. I wish we could celebrate this together at TV in person, but now you're back home, so the best thing I can do is to make this video with some subtitles, hoping my message could be crystal clear. Now, here we go. What makes your project work so well? I had to think it over, through, back, and forth to get the following answers. I think it works well because you were very reflective and flexible in adjusting your development path. I think it works very well because you were very open to suggestions and keen on pushing yourself and embracing the challenges. I think it works well because you completely commit yourself to what you believe in and always keep your promise. You never give up. These qualities did not stand out initially, but became more and more noticeable to me as time went by. You impressed me not only that you excelled in my course and made several publications, but also in your creative thinking and quality doing. In your final master project, you collaborated with a group of computer science and electrical engineering researchers from the United States and Taiwan working around the clock. Everyone was excited about the result and appreciated your contribution to the team. You impressed them as a designer who is capable of translating technology into user experiences. I sometimes forgot that you were just a master's student because you were as good as a PhD researcher, Then, what else can I ask for more? Nothing at all. I just wanted to know that these 2 years have been very memorable and satisfying to me. Thank you for being fantastic. Let me congratulate you for your well-deserved cum laude and wish you a very bright future.
So now we will continue with my colleague Max Berg and Lois.
Lois, you have been part of quite a special group of students for me. You're all not just the first group of students, you're my first group of students overall. And we all worked during a time that was really most complicated for all of us. And within a pandemic, I really could not have wished for a better group. And for more than a year, we actually met every day for 15 minutes, all of us together. And you were an absolute staple in this place of laughter and crying for all of us. And still, when I hear a laptop fan go wild, I think that must be Lois coming around the corner. But even more, I have to think about the wonderful and exciting stories you have to tell. And for everyone, if you ask Lois about haystacks on highways, you're really in for a treat. Lois' tagline throughout our program has been, I want to design for wonder. That was a real challenge when we started out, because everything needed to move online. And you took this effort, really effortlessly, and first created an online museum experience and evaluated individual differences in user experience online. Without hesitance, you learned quantitative methods and rigorously explored and compared data. Your skills to collaborate are outstanding. First, this part of your project, you found your personal blacksmith who created a Kopesh for you. That's a type of sword. Someone to voice recording for your online experience, and many others contributed through discussion by translating text into Latin or helping you to record promotional videos. You really needed to take your ideas from the digital into the physical. So you got very close to the prehistoric Dorp and to Yvonne Lammers, the Hoft of the prehistoric Dorp. The prehistoric Dorp is an outdoor museum that presents historic practices from different ages in very lively settings for all of you to kind of get an idea. I really highly recommend to visit it. In your final project, you designed a live experience for the prehistoric Dorp, wrote scripts, acting instructions, and developed a wonder-inducing narrative to draw people into the exciting world of the Dorp, so really just in line with your design and vision. And the challenges to pull all this off are really high. You have to consider real-world environments, the context, visitors of all ages, have a narrative that works out of sync, and lots of different technical solutions. You solved all these challenges with intelligent, thoughtful solutions that kept the experience first. And I think part of your trade secret is that you are always looking for collaboration as a source of strengths and providing yourself into those contexts that enriches them to a degree that I think only you can provide. And while your work really is impeccable, I will always remember the joy and fun you brought to our chats, your can-do attitude, to solve problems, and your approach to kind of make this world a little bit more wondrous. So I'm not surprised to hear that you're back into acting, organizing theater, and inspiring others. So congratulations, Lois. It was indeed full of wonder working with you. Most importantly,
How about you hold the flowers and I hold the diploma?
that sounds perfect.
Yes. Balance it out the picture.
Tim, you're next. Tim, when I started working with you, I was really impressed about how much you already know about game design, game theory, practice, and all that you have accumulated there in terms of knowledge. And I was even more impressed when we started to kind of like discuss some of those topics, because you consistently hold yourself like within kind of really challenging environments. And when we are in those discussions, I'm not the easiest kind of like to let go, but so you're neither, right? You're like really focused and know what you're aware of what you know. You tackled complex problems with determination and learned to really adapt quickly to quite novel situations. I think I've thrown you into the deep end like more than once, but you know, you always came out of it like even more proficient and efficient. During our daily meetings, you often said, I ran into a complex problem, and that might take a moment to solve. And I regularly thought, great, that's going to keep you busy for a week. It never did. After 24 hours, you came back and like just stated in passing, no, I made it work. Like it's all good. Like, and kept on moving on. I was really, really impressed by this approach. Methodologically, and with just the right amount of making it work, you kept on making progress over and over. And you were thoughtful, and the closeness of your work, and my kind of familiarity with this topic actually led to a publication at one of the top conferences in games research, titled Pathfinder, The Behavioral and Motivational Effects of Collectibles in Gamified Software Training. And that was the first project we did together. In your thesis, there we are, you built on your first experience in Unity and developed game mechanics to create the experience of earthbending, a combat technique from Avatar: The Last Airbender, a popular anime for those who are not aware. You can draw stones up, smash walls, overcome obstacles. And you went into all this with like an attitude of really looking at the small and the big at the same time. So a very, very thoughtful kind of direction. So during your project, you investigated this design process of game mechanics, conducted and reported multiple studies, and received input from experts in game design. You developed protocols, questionnaires, in-game measures to understand users and showed the differences between different prototyping fidelities. Your work is technically and from a research perspective really, really challenging because it requires you to integrate theory, technology, and user data, draw conclusions, then modify an already existing prototype. And this is a challenge that I think only a multi-talent like you could actually have like taken on and addressed. And these are things that I have gone into like during my PhD research as well, and people struggled more with it. So I'm throughout just really, really impressed like with your work attitude and the way you address these challenges. So that being said, I'm really lucky to keep working with you for a while. So I hope we're going to get into more challenges together. And Tim, congratulations to a degree, really, really well deserved. Daisy.
Can you guys listen so Grandma can understand?
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks.
You can, like, if I guess you need to go slower, you just, okay. Daisy, I don't think I was your first choice as a mentor, was I? No, I think personally I would have gone with Lu Yuan as well. But I'm actually really, really, really glad that we ended up together. I think we connected thanks to Canada, where you grew up, and I lived for a while in the prairies. And maybe because of Canada, we share a number of values, and I believe that that was actually like really helpful and supportive space for you to kind of like kick off like into a journey that really went like quite a while and is going deeper. So you started out doing a literature review on nutrition tracking technology. Research-wise, you already showed here that you're very focused and actually quite vocal about the issues you are discovering, like in the literature. At the end, you presented a critique on design guidelines for nutrition tracking, how conflicting they actually are, and how we lack good meta-science for design guidelines. A good take on the world of design and HCI, and a really grounded critique, actually. The next project got you into designing a chatbot for nutrition tracking, applying your newly learned knowledge, and the project was really successful and is actually still used in the department. The chatbot was a good context to learn about multiple stakeholders, investigate the context of cardiovascular care, and barriers of technology in the medical world. Well, I think you also discovered like that there are a couple of like kind of conflicting points in this environment and this kind of like approach to changing the world through technology. And then in your thesis project that we just have seen, and That's still there, wonderful. You did something that sounds really easy, but it's actually incredibly difficult to do. You reviewed the cards that you have on the table, nutrition tracking, cardiovascular health, technology, and then you stepped away from a lot of things that you actually have learned throughout, throughout your entire lifetime almost, to kind of do and follow a certain track. And then you actually just developed an incredibly strong voice and infused all these cards that you had on the table to create a thesis titled Feminist Nutrition Intervention in Cardiac Rehabilitation. That moment of you becoming was incredible to actually witness in this project. You explore technology fostering intuitive eating to provide an alternative to top-down approaches of dieting and cardiovascular care, as we just have seen. And you presented your work at the Dutch Design Week in a wonderful discussion where you held your own like you belonged there. And you will present at another super top secret design week as well. So it comes with little surprise, but with an incredible amount of pride that your graduation was awarded cum laude. So this deserves a short extra applause. You will stay with us and continue as a PhD in collaboration with Philips Design, where I believe that your advocacy for value-based care will contribute to real-world impact, and I think they couldn't have wished for a better candidate. So, Daisy, this was clearly not a coincidence. Congratulations. Veerle. Working with you, Veerle, was really special to me. I remember that from the get-go you said, I want to work with someone I can laugh with. What a great criterion for working together for 1.5 years. If you can laugh together and find funny moments, and all those moments we have to go together through, I think it's a great way of moving forward. So this worked actually really, really well. We laughed together about all those stupid little moments and challenges we faced together throughout. Your work evolves around relaxation, a drum that aims to allow people who suffer from anxiety to express themselves physically. So really kind of a take on this idea of that we always have to calm down and kind of calm ourselves when we experience moments of anxiety, but that we can express ourselves. So your first prototype, I remember that was 2 plants with a bunch of wires sticking out. I think was developed with one of the best co-designers you can create with your mom, who is also in the audience. And then you took your work to Germany, Gießen, which is one of the hotspots of evaluating therapy outcomes. And here you inspired clinical psychologists to engage with design and explored the design space of clinical psychology and brought back knowledge how to design for anxiety fits into practice. I think this is an incredible achievement of kind of translating and advocating kind of for design in spaces that are actually not easy to access, but have real world impact for the people who matter. In your thesis, you evaluated the effects of relaxation on anxiety from a personal perspective and with the help of others. And this also speaks to this great group of people you have around you that always support you and that you also sing with. The range of depths and insights you have created during your work are truly impressive. You have created a fully functional prototype. You investigated through multiple focus groups and interviews. You did SWOT analysis and all these often methods that you haven't worked with before, but just jumped into and acquired them. I remember it took you 2 weeks to kind of conduct a focus group with multiple people and really follow the guidelines on the dot to perfection. I was incredibly impressed. So I was not at all surprised, but even more proud when I learned yesterday that you will start your new position, and I hope I can say this, as co-creator of digital development at Blink, one of the most innovative educational resource publishers in the Netherlands. Congratulations. Congratulations, Veerle, and thanks for all the heartfelt and funny moments you shared with me.
Thank you, Max. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the personal addresses, but also seeing a bit the variety and the quality of the projects that we see in this department. For me, at least, it's a very good moment because I get to see you in my courses a bit, or working around, or hear glimpses left and right, but I never see the full quality of what you are doing. So I'm very proud of what you have achieved. So congratulations to all. I have to do a serious part, so I will put my serious face now because I have to also read you the duties and the rights as master's graduates. The scientific degree of master's involves duties as well as rights. As a holder of this degree, you are committed to standards of scientific integrity, trustworthiness, intellectual honesty, openness, independence, and societal responsibility. These standards are described in more detail in the Netherlands Code of Conduct for Research Integrity and in the Eindhoven Code based on it. You also have duties towards society. You must be clear about the boundaries of your own expertise, and you must communicate honestly and independently about the results of your work, including potential risks associated with it. You are committed to the ethical codes for research and design involving human subjects and animals. But I'm sure you will do, because you have done so far. So congratulations once more. And now it's time to have, well, maybe collective congratulations to all of you from... You're now officially our alumni, and it is a moment where we can show a little information for everyone about the alumni. We would like you to keep in touch and to be part of the alumni and to know what great things you will do. And it's a white screen.
I'm Joep Elderman. Partij van Burg.
Paul van Beek. I'm co-founder
at Bureau Moeilijke Dingen.
What we're trying to do is creating connected IoT proposals for other companies in a meaningful way. I make a lot of the connected probes that are part of our proposition. So these are either low energy data gathering probes or some probes that people have physical interactions with.
And I'm a full stack designer. As a full stack designer, you go all the way from the back end to the front end and maybe even more, and try to capture that in a fully working proof of concept that you can then communicate to a technical team that has way more resources to go to a production environment.
What I like about being an interaction designer is that I really work for people, and that what you do really has impact on how people perceive your product or service or system or whatever. And not just make exactly what the client wants, but involve the user to get to a higher level.
Looking back at the studies, it really helped me in getting the right mindset. I really learned to break the endless analysis cycle through making and experimenting with prototypes.
It's very easy for an ID student to see the system in a holistic view, and then later on in the process zoom in and then really pay attention to the detail and make sure that the balances are right. And I think that's something that you don't see that often in other studies.
What I'm most proud of is that we were able to build a company from extending the things we liked at industrial design. Our visions on design were quite aligned, but there are still some differences, and I think that triggers really interesting discussions. For example, the future of AI, the future of IoT. It often also results in a new direction for ourselves, creates more valuable insights for all of us.
We are Bureau Moeilijke Dingen, industrial design alumni of the TU Eindhoven.
That was our alumni. Of course, we just saw 3 of them. Our department has been going 20 years. These people have done very nice things, and it's a very nice network to join, to find colleagues who have experiences to share, and they can learn from you, and you can learn from them. So that's a pat on the back to join our alumni association. With this, we ended the serious business. So now I will close the ceremony. You're all invited for drinks and for chats, but that's this way. But I would like to invite the candidates to stay a bit here. We will exit this way. We will follow our beadle and the photographer who will actually direct us how to look good on a picture. So thank you all. Maybe we follow the beadle and the audience can exit after us to the other side. So I close this ceremony.